welcome to another Bundle Live interview. I'm super excited to welcome another featured Bundle contributor. Their names Julie and Chris come to the stage. Yay!
Hi.
Hey, I'm so excited to have you. First off, this is my first time having a double contributors contributing something. So I'm really excited because when you came through on the list, I was like, wait, who, what? Okay, is this two people? Is it one person? There's a lot of names they're putting on this on this application. So I'm excited that co-partners in this business is coming together with an amazing training. So thank you guys for being a part of this.
Oh, thank you so much for inviting us to be a part of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So let's get right to it because I want to know more about the training that you're offering. Now, this is something that you guys super valuable that they are offering to you guys for free only in this bundle. It's worth a lot more than what they're charging, quite frankly, but it is available to you. And I want you to know a little bit more about it. So Julie and Chris, the name of the training, Bring Your Ideas to Life. Is that right?
That's correct.
And talk to me a little bit more about the training and, what exactly it is.
So we started actually several years ago trying to come up with different ideas that might be helpful to people because that's our whole goal is to help people. And so when we tried to come up with ideas, it's kind of like you're all over the place at first. And we wish back then that we had had a course like this to kind of make it very step-by-step. Here's what you need to do. If you're working by yourself or if you're working with a team, here are some of the things that you need to consider. And like I said, if we had had, a course like this before, which is why we made it now, it would have been much easier to put these ideas into execution.
Absolutely. Yeah. Go ahead. Say what you're going to say.
It would have been a big help.
Yes, I'm sure it is. I mean, y'all, we all know we have so many ideas for our businesses, they like 10, 20 a day, quite frankly. And especially when I get in the shower, I mean, that's like business idea time, right? So the second they all come to life, I know I just kind of go, write them down, or maybe I'll put them on, I'll put them on something, I'll put them on something, but quite frankly, never come to life. So I like the idea of a training where it's like, you're literally saying, okay, here's your idea. Let's actually do something with it and bring it to life. Right. Talk to us a little bit about who it's for, like what the training's for, like as far as who would really get the most value out of the training.
So we feel like as women, it's definitely, it's helpful for everybody, but we really wanted to gear it more towards women because of the fact that, we know there's, 1,000 different things going on during the day, and to try to sit down and, you have your ideas, like you said, Nicole, when you're in the shower, but then actually putting those ideas into some sort of format to make it easier for people is really, what our whole goal was. And there are worksheets along with all of the modules that, I really encourage people to print those out, fill them out, and maybe even paste them up on the wall. So then that way you can see where you're supposed to be headed, because I think it's very easy to not know what you need to do next.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So talk to us a little bit. I'm actually going to bring on a screenshot of the page that you guys are going to be signing up on when you get this training, because I know you're going to want it. And they have some great points here of what you'll learn. So why you can't stay focused. I know. I don't know. I don't know if it's like, just like, oh, that looks good. That seems fun. But, things seem fun. And I'm just like, I'm just going to do it, So, hey, I'm not sure why I can't stay focused. Do you kind of get to the meat of why we can't stay focused, or, what's that part about?
So, I mean, I actually, when I was building the course, I came up with the idea of doing this kind of self-assessment thing, which is what the light bulb is, kind of at the lower part of the screen. Yeah. When I actually put it together, then I went back and took it myself. I was a little dismayed to see how many things that could be improved, even after me structuring the course as I did. I mean, the whole thing is that you go through these self-assessment questions, and it's 1 to 5 kind of. And if you score anything 3 or below, it's something that you really should look at. And I was like, oh boy, there are like, there's, I think maybe about 20 or so questions. And I would say maybe half of them, I was maybe at a 3 or a 2. And I'm like, oh, this is something that I need to, take to heart and really do something about myself, in addition to trying to help others to, sit down, be able to focus and figure out how can you eliminate, as many distractions and the whole shiny object syndrome and so on and so forth, that I think we're all very familiar with.
Oh man, I know I am. Like I'm just, and it's shiny object, but every single one of them, I mean, they're going to be the next best idea. That's the way I look at it. So, sometimes it could be a challenge. But okay, let me get back to a little bit more about what's in the training. So, how to take control of your work environment, how to work with others to bring ideas to life. Talk a little bit more about that and how we can actually go about doing something like that, especially for a solopreneur. Like, how does that work out?
So one of the things I think that we have struggled with is that since we have had kind of ideas kind of all over the place, is that, fairly recently, we finally decided to just cut out all the distractions, cut out all the noise, and get down to here's what we really want to accomplish. And being that there's actually two of us, yes, it does certainly make it easier. But even if you're a solopreneur, it's something that I think you might realize that as you start working through things, you're not going to be good at every single little thing. That's just not possible. And Absolutely. I think it's something when you realize that there's parts of whatever you would like to bring your idea to life that you're not necessarily as well versed in, that's the time to maybe look outside and, maybe talk to friends or, go on Fiverr or whatever that looks like to see, here's what I need you to do. But it's important to make sure that when you do that you are writing down, here is a step-by-step process of what needs to be done, maybe screenshots, maybe over the shoulder, Loom video, whatever that looks like, so that whenever you do decide to take on another person, whether it's temporary or full-time or whatever, they have a good idea as far as what to do because they've seen you actually do it. And then that way it makes success much more likely.
I got a question as you were talking. I was like, okay, hold on. What is your best tip for taking on anybody in your team, or their best tip for like doing what you're talking about, working with others? Because I know for me, I just am like, okay, this is the idea. And quite frankly, it's all over the place when I present it to the team and they're just like, okay. And I'm like, okay, just execute it because I gave you the vision. They're like, oh no, I don't know what you're talking about. So what's your best tip for a kind of wrangling in your idea to make it make sense to anybody else that you're working with?
I would do some type of a standard operating procedure where you basically write down step by step each part you want to do and keep track of everything. We're in the process of doing that right now with all of our stuff because we're getting a little bigger than we intended to be and need some help.
No, never bigger than you intend to be. It's, just the vision, the idea is getting bigger and the need for more people is getting bigger.
Right, exactly.
And I think just also, in addition to what Chris said, just finding somebody that you feel like you can work with, but they should not necessarily have like similar personalities to you, because I think, when you have different personalities, you bring different things to the table, which I know can be helpful. And if you're bringing somebody that's exactly or, pretty close to you, you're going to butt heads and you're going to drive each other crazy.
That's interesting that you say that having similar personalities in your team, you're going to butt heads. Is that what you said?
So pretty much.
If you don't you don't want to work with yourself. Is that what I
mean? I think like one of the things that Chris and I find that we work really well together is I'm more of the extrovert and she's more the introvert. And so
I'm the one that keeps all the wheels behind working.
Okay. No, nothing wrong with that, right?
But I can totally see that, working with somebody just like me, I think would drive me nuts because I'm a little bit of a control freak.
Oh, okay. And then
I am too. I just let her do it.
Well, no, that give and take, that's all that is about. That's all that's about. Okay, so let's go more into the actual training. So people know exactly what's in there when they sign up for this amazing training. So how to assess your ability to focus, how to structure your work for success, and what's next. And you talked about the self-assessment piece of it. Why is it important that we have some sort of self-assessment piece, period, when we're talking about ideas? Because, as I was starting to think about this, immediately when I have an idea, I want to just flush it out. I'm not looking at like, oh, let me think about inner me or something like that. What self-assessment are you talking about specifically? And how can we use that in bringing that idea to life?
So one of the things that, like I was saying earlier, that when I went back and took the self-assessment, for myself, I was a little horrified at like, wow, there are still some things that we definitely, need to work on. And I think it just makes it, and it's broken down into 4 different pieces, and it just makes it more real because you can see, hey, I'm doing really well in this area, but maybe this area is something that I need to improve on. And maybe that's the time to look at, oh, that might be a good time to bring in somebody else. Like I said, either, kind of on a semi, just a short period of time, or it could be, long period of time. But if you see, this, and if you want to, like I was saying before, write it out, put it up on the wall, whatever that looks like, and then make sure that you're looking at, okay, am I making improvements in these areas? Because then I'm very tempted to take the self-assessment again in, say, a month or 2 and see where things are at. And if I feel like, okay, this is still not working, I still have work to do, or, hey, this has really been, I really improved in this area. Fantastic. That means, things are going well. It doesn't mean you should slack off, of course, but it just means, hey, maybe I need to turn my attention more to things that I'm not doing as well with.
Gotcha. I'd love to go over just kind of the training outline,
Sure.
because I heard that you said that you have worksheets and that kind of goes along with it. How do the worksheets help you go through the actual training?
So the worksheets are designed to actually be printed out, and then there's also discussion questions in there that I put in there for, just because I would like to have some sort of discussion with people who are interested in taking the course, because if they have questions, we want to be here to help them out. And so that's what the discussion questions are about. But having those worksheets printed out and being able to handwrite stuff, I feel like the more that you actually, and it's, with the day and age of just everything being digital, I think that's great. But I also think that there's something to be said for handwriting it out. I will not talk in class type of thing is kind of what makes me think of, you remember that type of thing much more because you've handwritten it, several times, and it's up where you can actually see it. And if it's in your own handwriting, to me, that just has even more validity.
Absolutely. It's more about printer ink for me, but the more I can print things out and really, write freehand. And anytime I do any kind of launch or product, quite frankly do a freehand. I think I did it for this particular bundle. Like, how is this going to work? How is the funnel going to work? All those sort of ideas. So I totally get you on that. So let me go into the modules, because I wanted everyone again to see really what you guys have here and be able to easily get into it, which you guys can. It is under the organization section of the bundle. Go there. You also got an email specifically with a link to all of our featured products. So I want to make sure that you guys get that. So module 1, why can't I stay focused? We already talked about is I love everything gold and silver, or whatever that term is. I can't remember right now. So, and great lessons. As far as like the length, how long do you think it takes to get through the each of your modules?
Oh, I would say that if you're going to actually, either be a part of the discussion and or print out the worksheets and, fill those out and hang those up, I would say you could probably get through each module in 20 to 30 minutes. We designed it to be pretty bite-sized. So it's like, if you have a few minutes, a little bit of time before your next activity or whatever that looks like, then you could actually do that. And, if you're taking your child to the doctor, you can bring along the worksheet and fill that out while you're sitting in the waiting room, whatever that looks like, but making, I think, the most use of your time when you do have the time. And that's why we kind of structured each of the modules to be 20 to 30 minutes a piece. Sometimes they're shorter, obviously the wrap up ones are shorter, but for most part, 20 to 30 minutes ought to do it.
I love that. I love bite size. Honestly, I get through them when they're bite size. I'm able to get through them. And honestly, how I just kind of go through courses or trainings, I'll listen to all of it and then I'll go back and kind of go in there and get the worksheets going. But
sure.
So module 2, taking control of your work environment. Now, if you're a solopreneur, what specifically work environment are we discussing there?
So if you're a solopreneur and you're actually working at home, there's still going to be distractions. There's kind of ambient noise in the background, whether that's the dishwasher or whatever is happening. And one of the suggestions that I have in there is either playing some, instrumental classical music in the background softly, or if you want to use a noise machine that's kind of set to static or whatever that looks like, that just kind of blocks out all that extraneous noise and makes it much easier for you to sit down and focus, because, you look outside, oh yeah, squirrel or whatever that looks like. And so you want to be able to actually set up your work environment for success. And the biggest thing with that is also, I have an enormous desk. I have a I think it's a 7-foot desk, and there is really nothing on it except for my laptop. And,
I wish.
and it's like, I just feel like if you have like a clean workspace, that just makes it so much easier rather than trying to like rifle through piles of paper or whatever that looks like. And it's
Absolutely.
like, no, just try to make it easier for yourself to focus and clean up your desk.
Shoot. Okay, so don't look at my desk. Don't look behind me. No, you can't see nothing behind me. Good. Because I need to get on that level for real. Yeah. So I will be opting in to figure out module 2.
There you go.
Okay, so let's go on. So structure your work for success. I'm going to guess this is the meat and potatoes right here, where you really get into the systems and how to make those wins and work habits. And we're going on to working with others. I know that's one that a lot of people are, I'm not going to say struggling with, but figuring out how that works, right? Especially if you're a solopreneur, that first onboarding or the first somebody else that you bring on can be a little bit like, I don't know, like this is a little crazy. And as I'm teaching my system with Right Audience, Right Offer, Right Event, we start thinking about how do I work with others to bring my event forth. So that definitely would be a great module for those who are working through my system. And then review and next steps. As far as actual training, are they getting any like one-on-one specialization? Do they have the opportunity to do that? Or is there any feedback that you provide during the training? Or is that kind of the next step with you?
Yeah, so that would be kind of the next step. Although that being said, Nicole, the feedback, that's what the discussion prompts within the course are for.
Okay.
And then one of the things that I make sure to tell people is anytime they're putting something in that discussion prompt, I will make sure to go in there and give them some sort of feedback, acknowledge the fact that we've received it. Hey, it sounds like you're struggling with this. Here's a few quick tips on what to do, just based on our experience. And here's where to go, here's where to go from here. But the next steps after that, if they wanted to do one-on-one, is kind of, above and beyond this particular course at this time.
Well, I think it's perfectly reasonable and actually way above and beyond to provide those discussion prompts and getting the feedback from you guys. So it should encourage people to get through the training, saying you are going to get feedback. And for all of you guys thinking about doing some sort of course or training, this is a good example that Julie and Chris has put out there to provide that discussion piece of it. So you can get that feedback on what people are thinking as they're going through it. So I absolutely love it. Or you can work with others to provide the feedback. If you're like, no, I don't really want that, that's fine. But you can empower other people to work and give the feedback of your program. So, okay. So I wanted is there anything else specifically about the training that you wanted to kind of give insight to, and, who exactly it's for, and, anything you'd like to give more about the training?
I will say the discussion prompts, I actually have the ability to put in that you have to fill it in before you move on. So I feel like that is super duper important. And the reason why I did that is because I think it's very easy with almost any course just to whip through it and then, you're done. And then now what? What do you do now? Whereas if you...
You heard me say I watch everything and then go back. So, okay, I guess I can't do that with you.
So that's one of the things that I put in there. And I put it in there because I want people to make sure that they are getting as much out of the course as possible. And if they are struggling with stuff, and no doubt you are, if you're taking the course, I mean, even designing the course, I felt like, like we talked about, there's still things that I am struggling with. So I want to make sure that we are able to help people as much as possible, but we don't know that you're struggling unless there's some sort of discussion, or if you wanted to send me, a separate email, that's totally fine as well. So that, everybody who might be taking the course can't see it. But I also feel like there's a huge value in, you ask a question, you think, oh, this is such a stupid question, whatever. And there's 300 other people that are struggling with the same thing. It's like, wow, okay, now I see that this is not just me out there struggling with this.
Well, one of the, I'm going to just say something, you're doing good with this, with this particular training. Again, I hope as people are listening, they're also saying, I really need that training, but they're also saying that's a really great idea for something that I'm doing or thinking. And, Julie and Chris has brought that out in me where I'm like, providing some sort of discussion for people so they can provide that, but only that. You now have a great FAQ from that, right? Because all these common themes come up. You got great content, Julie and Chris. I hope you are taking this discussion and creating great content with it. So hopefully that's just jogging little ideas for other people.
Yep.
So tell us where we can find you on social media, your website. Like, how can we get in touch with you, especially if you already have the training here, guys. So don't go purchase the training. It's inside of the Digital Products Made Easy bundle. So make sure you get it there. But how can people get in touch with you? Just like, I want you for my stage. I want this. I want that. How can we do that?
Right. So the best way is either to send me an email through the course, would be totally fine, or our website. And our website, I think, is actually loaded into the platform, so you can actually see and go to our website, so you can actually, there's a contact us page on our website, and you can get a hold of us there. And then, we're happy to answer any questions, or if you're wanting to, bounce around some ideas, that's certainly an opportunity for you to do so.
And we also have a YouTube channel.
Oh, okay. What's the channel name?
It's affiliate and content marketing pros.
Okay, awesome. I mean, not just this, y'all. They got a lot more content about a lot of other things I want you guys to check out. Well, thank you, Julie, Chris, for doing this. Not the same person, Julie and Chris. Again, I was like, huh? But I'm glad to have met both of you. Thank you so much for doing this with us. And you guys, again, go into the bundle pack, the link where it specifically says our featured contributors. This one is in the organization section where they have Bring Your Ideas to Life. Make sure that you check that out. And thank you, Julie and Chris, again. Guys, I will see you in just a little bit, and we'll talk to our next contributors. Thank you.
Thanks,
Nicole.
Hey, welcome back to Bundle Live for this segment. I'm so excited for you to meet another featured contributor. Her name is Sharina Booker. Welcome to the stage.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, I'm so excited that you're here because I think that you're about to bring a fresh new perspective into digital products. And we're going to talk about that in just a minute, y'all. If you haven't gotten this featured product, it's the Epic Planner Template Kit. You need to get that right now. It's under the product creation category on your bundle page. Make sure you get that. But I want to learn a little bit more behind the creator, the person who contributed this amazing product to this bundle. Sharina, tell us a little bit more about yourself, who you are, and who you serve.
Yeah, great. Thank you. So I'm Sharina Booker. I am the owner of Cherie LaVie Designs. And I started out actually just being on Etsy and selling planner stickers. And so I did that because I found that there wasn't a lot of representation of diverse bodies, diverse skin colors, diverse people in the planner community. And from there, it has grown, and I now work with people who are wanting to either start their own printable or planner business. And I do that by selling commercial use templates, as well as, just like checklists, to-do lists, courses, things like that, all within that realm of starting a digital printable business.
That's awesome. I mean, you talked about your beginnings with doing stickers on Etsy is what you said. That's humble beginnings, and you're now where you are right now. Talk to us about like what led you to actually go into that business and kind of what's led you to where you are now.
Yeah, so I love planners. That's like the number one thing. I have always been, like I loved collecting planners when I was younger, stickers when I was younger, all of that stuff. And I just carried that through until I was an adult. And I started buying things like the Happy Planner and things like that. And I did not see stickers that, for things like wash day for my hair, you know?
Oh yeah, I know what you're saying there.
Just like little things like that. And so I started making them, and there was a huge market because there's a lot of people who want to see themselves in those things.
Absolutely.
And so I did that for quite some time. But then I did hit a wall around 2018 and I burnt out and I could not do it anymore. It was one of those situations where I remember just thinking like, it was Thanksgiving, the day after Thanksgiving. And instead of hanging out with my family, I was like cutting stickers because I knew it was the biggest sales day of the year. And I said, this is not what a business should be, right? Because it's also my side hustle, right? I work full time as an educator. So I was like, I can't be spending all my time on this other thing. So I stopped and I decided to start selling digital products instead. And I love them. And I think that they are for everyone because if you don't have a lot of time, you can make a checklist, a to-do list. You can put it up one time and you can make sales from it for years to come. I actually still make sales from digital products that I posted back in 2019 with my business. And so I think it's just like the easiest way to start an online business.
You said something so crucial there. You said that you are a full-time educator. I'm a full-time nurse. So I totally get what you're talking about. Like, I don't have time to spend all this time delivering actual physical deliverables. You know what I mean? I tried the physical product thing. And I was like, yeah, no, that's not something I want to do. So I get what you're saying. Absolutely right there. And by going for the digital side instead of that physical side, you have a lot more of that time freedom. So I totally got what you were saying right there. Let's get into what you have here as far as your contribution to the bundle, Digital Products Made Easy bundle, because I'm super excited for people to get their hands on it. Again, it's the Epic Planner Template Kit.
Yeah.
It is inside the product creation category. And it's so valuable. I'm like, I think you need to raise your price on what you're offering it for, but you guys are going to get it for free if you're in the bundle. So I want to make sure that we talk about it, exactly who it's for, what it is. Can you tell me like what it actually is and who it's for?
Yeah, so this is actually the coaches and course creators edit of the Epic Planner Template Kit. So this was the kind of first big product that I ever made for commercial usage templates. And really that was because I was finding that making planners, making those to-do lists, making checklists, it was just so much easier once I was able to have templates and create my own templates, right? Because a checklist is lines, right? And like boxes to check lists off. But once I made that, I could put a checklist for anything and I could really serve a wide variety of customers. So I made a bundle of all these templates that I was using to create, and I decided to sell it so that other people could do the same thing as me. And this is actually a very special edit because as I have kind of grown in this business and in my side, in the kind of helping other people start their own businesses side, I launched a course called Start a Printable Biz. And I was like, wait, I can still use these same templates, but it's not all the templates that I would use for a planner, for example. So I made another version for myself again. And then I decided, you know what? I saw I saw your bundle for digital products, and I was like, you know what? I know that she serves a community that has a lot of course creators, a lot of coaches, a lot of things like that. Maybe they might love this product as well.
Yes,
So.
they will. They're eating it up right now. Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
You talked about, okay, so this is something that is going to help us create those worksheets, those workbooks and such. But you talk specifically about commercial rights or PLR. That's a word that, or not word, that's a acronym, right? That's an acronym for something. I don't know what it is. I know what it means, but I don't know what it is. What's the acronym for? Do you remember?
Well, private label rights.
Okay, private label rights. Okay, everybody knows now. And what exactly does that mean? Because I think as people get these templates, they need to know what they can use them for, how they can use them in their business. Can they just sell these templates on their own? Like, what can they do with this particular kit?
Right. So there are very specific things that you could do with this. So with PLR, you have private label rights. That means that it's another phrase I think that people use is white label. So basically, I've created it, and then you can take it and you can put your branding on it. So add in your fonts, add in your colors. You can take it, you can edit it however you see fit, and then you sell the completed product to your customers for personal usage.
So the edited version. So they can't just take your templates and say, oh, I'm going to sell the templates as templates. They've got to edit it. They've got to put their information, their coaching, their course information inside of it, or essentially edit it. They can't say, hey, you want these templates? You have to actually edit it to be a part of your digital product. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay. But I want to make sure we make that very clear.
Very clear. It's not master rights. You don't get to sell those templates as is. But what you can do is something as little as changing the color scheme. If that is your branding color and you've edited to that, then you can sell it from there.
Gotcha. Okay. So we want to make sure that we're super clear on what the toolkit is. And remember, it's the Epic Planner Template Kit. It's under the product creation. Make sure you go and get that particular product, because I'm sure all of you guys could use what's in there inside of your trainings, inside your digital products that you're about to create with all these amazing gifts that we're giving you here. I wanted to talk a little bit about the actual, like, how do we edit this thing? Because, you know, the first thing we think of is like, look, I ain't a graphic designer. I don't have all this, you know, that's the fear, especially maybe newer people who really don't know about, you know, how do I make color and this and that, blah, 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 blah. Tell us a little bit about how do we edit these things? Do we use anything in particular, any software, or, you know, what is your take on making those edits for our digital product?
Yeah, so I actually designed this in Canva specifically because it has a very low kind of like learning curve for doing design. So you actually will receive the templates in Canva already for you. They have only free elements in there. And the elements are things like your fonts, graphics, things like that. They're all free. So you can use this on a free Canva account.
That's pretty cool, because a lot of templates and stuff that you're getting around, they require that professional, like, you know, this and that. And and if you're not there and you're like, look, I'm not using the professional quite yet, it can be super annoying. So I can definitely appreciate the fact that you have allowed people who have the free version to get your templates. If you don't have the free version, you can go crazy and do all sorts of different things. But I do appreciate that. You also talked about a bonus training in this. Like before we got on, we talked a little bit about this. Can you tell us a little bit about this bonus training and how it's going to help you if you guys get this awesome product?
Yeah, so I actually, a lot of the people that I serve and that are my customers are brand new to all of this. And the thing that people were asking me the most was, these are great. I love these templates, but like, how do I edit? And so what I did is I recorded a training. It's only 30 minutes. It's called the Canva Quick Start. And it takes you through the basics of Canva in about 30 minutes. So you actually watch me in an over the shoulder take the weekly planner. I believe I pulled out one of the weekly planner pages from there and take it from the template all the way into this beautiful, gorgeous floral design template. By dragging and dropping elements, by changing out the fonts, by adding in new colors, and then also duplicating it so that you can have more than 1 week for your month, and then putting it all together. So that is your bonus training. And if you do happen to sell on Etsy, I do have a mini bonus training in there as well that helps you with listing on Etsy and writing really good product descriptions.
Ooh, child. That bonus alone is worth $297. I know for sure. I've seen Etsy trainings on how to list it, how to do descriptions, and that stuff is actually incredibly valuable in the end. So definitely it seems like you got a free mini extra training on how to be on Etsy, and which is really good for people who are thinking about what you specifically specialize in planner and printable businesses. So I'm super excited. We're going to talk about that in just a second. But again, make sure you guys go to the Epic Planner Template Kit. Okay. It's under, if you go under featured products, it's under that section. If you go under product creations, under that section, several places for you to make sure that you get this particular product on your bundle page. So I want to make sure that you go and get that as soon as humanly possible, because this is not going to last long. It normally, I mean, you can get template, or should I say bundles like this, costing upwards to $300 and $400 easily. And we're talking about 30 plus templates to add to your digital, make it easy for you to create your I mean, we literally have given you everything, y'all. Serena's giving you everything here to actually create the physical product, or not the physical, I should say digital, but create that digital product. So please do not sleep on this particular offer. But he also said a key word that we have said several times in Bundle Live: bite-size training. It's something that we continually, in any digital products we are offering, it's super important that you have bite-sized trainings. And Sharina just said 30 minutes, that's it. You know, we're not going to show you how to be a graphic designer. Yeah. We just want you to be able to use these products to the best of its advantage. And you know what? If it looks like squat, I don't care. I just want the content, right? I want the content. And that's the big thing about these digital products. So Sharina, let's talk a little bit more about the planner and printables business, because when we start thinking about creating digital products as bloggers, content creators, course creators, sometimes we kind of overlook maybe that printable aspect, not just having a course. You know, we could have something like a printable or like a planner that we would always want to use. Tell us a little bit about what kind of products we can create in that space, not related to creating a course, like specifically.
Right. So honestly, I think I'm a teacher by nature, right? So or by profession, but also I do like to think I was naturally born to be a teacher. And so I'm really used to creating worksheets that will help guide the learning. And so that is really how I think about planners and printables. And so you can use it as a supplement to your course, but also think about all those people out there who maybe don't quite know you yet, or just want to know a tiny little bit about what it is that you create. You can still guide them through planners and printables. So you can make it very niche into whatever your topic is, right? There's a huge movement and trend right now towards journaling and being and mindfulness and things like that. So if you have a way to kind of give prompts, which I like to think of as like a little private conversation between you and your customer, right? That no one else has to know about. You put those prompts into a book and it's almost like you're still guiding them, right? And so you can make a journal, you can make checklists, to-do lists, you can do process sheets are in there, goal setting. It's like, I could list hundreds of different products that you could make.
Well, we'd love to hear all of them, because sometimes we just don't even think. We think courses, we think coaching. You know, we don't even think what, we're leaving money on the table. We've created these things, worksheets and all these workbooks, and maybe for these big higher ticket things, but we forget we can actually take this and break it down for people who are like, I'm not ready for that coaching, but I really could use that process sheet you do. I could really use those prompts, something as, and I don't want to say simple, but something like you have 7 days of prompts, but it gets somebody past a mind block or mindset block or spiritual block or whatever kind of block they have, or even just a challenge. Maybe you have like a 7-day challenge. Writing that into something that Sharina just created here with this template kit and selling it. I mean, it's as simple as that. And I think sometimes people forget. They're like, well, when the world is that price at? Like, okay, like a printable, how much are we talking about? I really think about transformation. A printable can be anywhere from, $9, whatever 99 cents. I don't care. But the fact of the matter is that it's valuable with the information. So the value is super high in that printable. I didn't even think about that. So I'm definitely going to look back at all these things I'm creating. I'm leaving money on the table.
Yeah. And speaking of that transformation, you don't know where your client is entering, right? We all have our ideal version of who our client is and our customers are, but you don't actually know where each individual person is entering, right? And so
Absolutely.
I have had people who have picked up a printable from me, the very, very low cost, like just a to-do list of like, here's how you start an Etsy shop. Here are like 20 steps to do it, right? In different categories. And those people have then gone on because I gave them a pathway into that transformation. They've gone on to get mini courses, onto my larger course, onto my membership where I work with people. So it's like you have no idea where someone's going to enter into your world, and so it's just a really nice way to bring people in, because people are constantly like looking for these things. They're looking for to-do lists. They're looking for checklists. They're looking for processes. They're looking for those things. So why not let it be you, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I absolutely love all of that. And, we talked about on other segments about using your digital product for lead generation, that, you can use that principle in a way, in a summit, to gain lead generation. You can use it at a speaking event. You can use it in a bundle, such as the one that I created here with Digital Products Made Easy, where you essentially use that paid product, which you normally would get paid for, and now you have it for a lead. You can say, hey, I'm going to give this for a very limited a time. I'm just going to urge Sharina to increase this price after the bundle. I'm just going to say, and she's using this thing for lead generation, and you can use your principle for lead generation and to get paid. It works in many different ways for you. So I absolutely love the idea of the kit. She's done everything for you.
Yeah.
She just hasn't given you the ideas for your particular method and process. That's the only thing that's missing here. So again, I'm going to say go to the Epic Planner Template Kit. Again, it's under the product creation or the featured guests or featured products. I mean, it's in several places. I'm sure you will definitely get this. So Sharina, talk to us a little bit about how we can get in touch with you, your social. If you're on social, do you have a blog? What is your thing?
Yeah, so I'm actually building out my blog, but I do have a couple of posts. My website is sharilavidesigns.com. So just my business title, and I do have a blog you can purchase on there. It also links out to my Instagram, but the main way that I really like to keep in touch with people is through my Facebook group or through my loving emails that I send. And so the easiest way to contact me, Sharina at Sharila V Designs, or head over to my website, check out my blog. I'd love to see you on Facebook as well.
And what's the name of your group? You said you had a Facebook group. What's the name of it?
Yeah, it's Sharila V Designs Customer Group.
Gotcha. Okay, awesome. Guys, I really hope that you guys take us up on this offer to get this for free. I'm going to tell her to increase the price. So if you don't get it in the bundle, you have to pay more. So I'm telling you now. Anyway, thank you so much, Sharina, for being here, for being a part of this segment. And make sure you guys go get it.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you guys for tuning in to this segment. Again, make sure you go get that kit because it is awesome, worth every single penny. And you guys are getting it for free for this bundle. So go and get that as soon as possible. I will see you in the next segment. Hey, so excited that you could come back to another segment of Bundle Live. I have a really good product coming for you, and it was given to us by Deidre Johnson. Welcome to the stage, Deidre.
Hi, thank you so much. How's everybody doing?
Oh my goodness. Well, I know I'm good because this bundle is just chock full of amazing products, including your product, which we're going to get to in just a second. But I want to know who you are, people to get to know you, because your name of your business, Mom's Blog too. You guys can kind of see that. I want you to tell us a little bit about you and your blog.
Well, first off, I'm very excited to be a part of this bundle. And like you said, yes, I am the founder and CEO of Mom's Blog too. And I am a mom of 3 boys, which have a lot of personality. They are 4, they are 7, and 11 years old. And so, yeah, I started my blog because really I just wanted to be able to have more time with my family. I think that's what most of us want. spend more time with your family, and be able to make an income from it. So I started my blog, Mom's Blog 2. It's a great way for me to, be able to be around my kids, be with them, and then also go after my passion, which I love journalism and writing. And I was able to do Mom's Blog 2 and help other moms, start their blogs.
That's awesome. I mean, for about 10 seconds, for about 10 seconds, I wanted to be a blogger, but I was like, man, the writing, if I could just get writing down, I would be so good. But you literally teach people the how-tos of going through writing and how to really make that into a great income for your family, which is super awesome. Let's talk a little bit about your contribution to this bundle, Digital Products Made Easy. You contribute something called How to Sell Your First Digital Product. I'm super excited because we have it over in the category for product creation. The whole thing is about creating digital products. What made you create this product, this digital product?
Really, it comes from my experience because, when I was starting my blog, I was like, okay, that was the first roadblock. Like, how do you even get started? And then I was like, what's the next roadblock? Is like, okay, how do I create my first digital product? And I was really just stumped. I was just, you can have all the confidence in the world, but you're like, well, how do I do that? How do I even, create something to put it out there? And that was like, okay, I can do this, but I just got to figure it out. And, I create this product to make it simple for moms and anyone that creates their first digital product, really just how to do it. It's like, step 1, 2, 3, and you can do it, and once you do that and put it out there, you're like, oh, I finally did it. I can say I created my first digital product, and you're just so relieved and you're just so excited.
Look, I have a few questions for you because I know that when you create digital products, it does seem like this big task. And especially if you're a mom. Now, I'm a stepmother and my daughter is like 16, so she doesn't need me at all. But, one of the first questions I have is time. And I'm sure everybody else has that for time. And you specifically said, especially in our pre-talk, that simplicity is the thing. Talk to us a little bit about that time and the time it takes or the time it doesn't take to do a digital product. Like, what do you think about that?
Right. So I try to say, look, it's not rocket science. We're not solving, world peace with this digital product. And this is your first digital product, probably. If you created one, maybe this is your second or third, but your first one, you just want to get it done.
Yes.
So what I say is like, think of something that will be simple for you to put together, simple for something for you to do right away. So think like a checklist, think like a template, think like, even like an ebook. Like you mentioned, if you love to write or you're a great talker, do an ebook because then you can put that together pretty quickly. It's really just a matter of putting the words down and also getting the pictures down. For checklist, you can do a checklist with like the top 5, top 10, even the top 3. Your whole point is really just to get something done and to put something on paper that you think will help your audience.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I have a question for you related to your first digital product. I mean, you very much stress, make it easy, 1, 2, 3. What was your first digital product when you were kind of going into the land of making digital products?
Yeah, so my first digital project was how to start a profitable blog in 30 days, and it was an ebook. So, of course, I had started my blog and I'd been blogging for a while, and I was like, okay, I've been, writing, I've been blogging. So, how can I put this where people can see, what I'm blogging about? And so, what I did was I used my blog post and used also some of the emails I was sending out, email marketing, to create my first ebook. It was actually
Gotcha.
really simple. That's why I said, a lot of people talk about repurposing content. If you have content already, use what you have. If you don't, just think about, okay, what are some simple tips I can give? And then put that into an ebook and use some great, looking pictures, get some great photos, and then just give people some advice that really will help them move them along on their journey.
And your thing really is blogging, right? So do you ever talk about maybe like creating audio courses or other things like that? Or is it mainly you're talking about creating ebooks in this particular product?
So for digital products, I talk about really, this is keeping it simple. So yes, audiobooks and courses and stuff like that, that will come down the way. But for me, of course, since I target moms, I know our biggest thing is like, how do I get that first thing done? How do I get that first step done? And then I always talk about how, like, my favorite quote is from Martin Luther King Jr., as he says, you don't have to really know everything. You just have to take the first step. And so taking that first step, if that is creating, like I said, a quick little ebook, a quick little template, a quick little checklist, a quick little freebie, you can turn that, of course, like into your digital product and go from there and really sell that to your audience.
Absolutely. I want to go into a little bit of the mindset though, because I know for me, when I think of like, okay, here's this checklist or this is this video training or something like that, I immediately goes into, I can't sell this. Is this really worth it? Is this really valuable is anybody going to care? I immediately go into that. So, what would be, and I'm sure a lot of people watching are going to probably say the same thing, like, well, you're talking about taking blog posts or things I already have that were free and putting them together. Like, what do you say to those people that, they're going to be the naysayers? What do you say to those people?
I would say you can do it. I was there. I totally understand, exactly what you're going through because I was like, there is no way anybody is going to want to buy one of my products. There's no way I can create something that anybody would ever like. And then what you do is once you create it and you put it out there, you see that people do want your product. They will buy your product. And as much as you're amazed about it, there are people that want to know what you know. And it goes back to kind of like the imposter syndrome, where you have to realize that, as long as you know more than someone else, which is most everybody, something, just be a little bit more. That can help somebody on their journey. I've had moms tell me, I'm just now starting my blog because I want to be at home with my kids, especially with the pandemic. A lot of moms are like, I need to do something else. Maybe they're working full time at a job, 9 to 5, and they're just like, okay, I need to be at home. Or maybe they were already a stay-at-home mom, but they needed an outlet. So they started blogging. And so I have those products that can help them start their journey and move along.
Absolutely. I would love to know a little bit more about, as you're talking to someone who is starting their blog and they're thinking about doing a digital product, at what point do you kind of say, start thinking about creating a digital product? At what point is that a good time? I guess there's never a good time, but but what point do you kind of say, okay, you're ready to go and start creating your first digital product?
So this is something that actually some people may say, they may not necessarily agree with, but I am like, okay, look, I'm a mom and I say, go for it right away. I tell people, do not wait to create your first digital product. I know that some people will tell you to wait. Like first you want to create a lot of blog posts, get your blog going. And then I say, no, 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 no. I say, as moms, look, we have great minds. We have great confidence. We can do it and we can put it out there. And also you want to go ahead and start making an income from your products as soon as you can. So once you start creating those digital products, that can already start bringing in income from you and your family. I'm all about, we got to take care of our kids, our families, our husbands, everybody else. So you want to go ahead and start making your digital products so you can do that. And I think that, starting the digital products right away will also give you that confidence when people start buying your products, like, okay, I've got something here. I'm doing something that people really want.
And I'm not going to lie, as I started to listen to you saying that, I was like, that makes sense. Like, why not start monetizing from day one? Start creating those products that will bring in the income. So as you're creating your blogs, you can put the nice little link, you can learn more in this product. And as you're growing your email list, having a part of your welcome sequence. And, if you start it out, you're being profitable from day one, as opposed to let me wait 30, 40, 60, whatever days and then become profitable. Also, Deidre, as I was listening to you say that, I was like, there are wonderful mom bundles out there. I also advocate using your digital products as lead generators. So not only something that you could easily get a sale from and maybe an upsell and this and this and this, maybe that's going too far, but you can also use them to create your list, get your list high. So then you can end up selling even more products from that. And, you're using that in one way right now in this particular bundle. What is your advice for people who, because you do blogging and the email list is super important. What is your advice for people who are trying to grow their list so they can sell their digital products and get their products in front of new people?
I would say bundles like this one are perfect. What Nicole is doing, this is so awesome. If you can be a part of a bundle like this and other bundles, it's amazing because it gets your word out there as far as what you do and it gets your name out there. I would say, learn from my mistakes. Like I waited too on the digital products and I was like, oh, maybe I should wait. I need to, work on my blog a little bit more. But like you said, Nicole, if you don't have a digital product, you can't contribute it to a bundle. If you have it and you create it, then that opens up a whole nother world of opportunities for you. And I learned that once I created my first digital product, I was like, wow, I can then, submit this for these bundles. And then now I already have like several bundles lined up just because I create that first digital product. It really is so important to get started, right away, and don't think that you can't get started. I know a lot of people say, do affiliate marketing, go that way. Well, why not create your own product? Affiliate marketing is great because you're also selling other people's products really and getting the commission, but you can do it. I tell moms all the time, we can do this. You got this. And people are going to want what you can create and what you can deliver because you're helping them. And I also say as moms, we have a certain, knack for knowing what people want. We do everything. We're business people, we're family people, we run the house, we do everything. People are going to want your product. And so I encourage people to say, hey, go out there, go ahead and develop digital product and you can get it done.
Oh my goodness. You literally expressed exactly what I wanted you to express there by saying that creating that digital product literally opened your world up to a lot more opportunities. Not only, maybe, speaking on summits or speaking in virtual events, in-person events, but your digital products now are opening the door for really growing your email list massively. You already said you have several bundles lined up. That would not be a thing if you did not have this digital products that you have. So it's a great way to quickly upsize your list, start monetizing. It's a great way to do that. And obviously, you don't have to have something that is priced at $300 and $400. That's another thing that I want to make sure that we put in there, especially for moms, because again, the value for me, I'm a stepmother, but the value is so important to me, thinking, well, I mean, is somebody going to pay this? Or, even something like $9. I still had doubt, like, will somebody pay $9 for this? Like, that's like, really? Like, yes, they will pay $9 for that.
Right.
And they will want it because it's so valuable and they'll continue to want it. How can we, if you're not on your first, maybe you're on your second digital product, where should we be looking for, like, in creating those second digital products if we're past that very first one?
So if you create like your first digital product, if you've done like a template or a checklist or even an ebook, I say next thing, maybe go for a course. I mean, I tell everybody that also with a course, you don't have to have, this huge long signature course that's like, 30 modules and hours and hours and hours. But people are buying, webinars as a course. You can turn a webinar that you do into a course and people are buying that, Some people like a lot of bite-sized like courses. So don't think it has to be this extravagant thing that's going to take you months and months and months to create, because that's not, true how it is now. And, especially moms and people like us that don't have like a lot of time, they like things bite-sized. So if you can do a webinar, all you have to do is, you can host a live webinar, keep that recording, and then you can sell it. If you're talking about, like for me, I created a webinar like how to start, a profitable blog in 30 days. And then like you turn it into a course. And so that's like a bite-sized thing that someone can buy. And then after that, you do several of those videos on different topics. It can be, how to create your blog, how to determine what your niche should be, how to write your blog. And then you've got several videos, you can turn that into a course. So like I say, make it simple. We don't have like all the time in the world. You want to spend that time with your family. You want to take care of your kids, and really have that for your own also mental health and development. So do what's necessary, but keep it simple.
Man, the second you said, we want bite-sized, like, look, I hope everybody's hearing that as they're even thinking about creating their first or second bite-size. You're going to find that people don't want to spend 4 and 5 hours consuming anything anymore, unless it's a binge Netflix or something like that. They really want, and I advocate in my products, an hour, literally spend an hour creating the videos, whatever it is you want to do, trainings, audio, whatever you want to do. And that's it. That's the end of your course. That's the end of your training. That's the end of your product. Because quite frankly, nobody has time to sit and consume all that. So you want to make sure that your main points are good and they are in a short period of time. So I really appreciate you saying the bite-size offers. You guys, if you want to get Deidre's ebook, it's called How to Sell Your First Digital Product. It is inside of the product creation category, or you can go into the featured products section on the bundle and you will see her ebook. It is so exciting to have you a part of this. Any kind of last words as far as like encouragement for our moms out there who are thinking about digital products or trying to make that leap, or just anyone, if they don't have to be a mother, it's okay. But, what exactly would be your advice for someone who's ready to make that leap into digital products?
Sure. I would say just take that first step. just take that first step and, you'll see how far you can go. If you're worried about, I don't know if I can create anything, if you're worried about no one will buy it and everything, I would say, get rid of all that doubt. This is what 2023, we've got big dreams, big goals. This is the time to start. This is the time to do something maybe that, will challenge you. Think of just a quick outline. What would I create? How would I create it? And then create something that's simple and easy. Create it easily in Canva and just put something together. They have templates there for you. So once you know kind of like in what direction you want to go, use the templates in Canva, create something quick, and then that could be your digital product. I can say you can do it. We believe in you. This is a community as far as everybody working together as well. And people want to see you succeed. So go ahead. Don't be afraid to put it out there. Take that first step and you got this.
Oh, that's so awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. Again, if you guys want to get the ebook, it's How to Sell Your First Digital Product inside the product creation category. I'm really excited that Deidre came and is a part of this. She's a part of the bundle world now with me, as far as I'm concerned. Tell us a little bit more about how we can work with you. Do you have a way for us to work directly with you, or is it through your products? How can we directly work with you?
Sure. So you can find me at Mom's Blog 2. That's my website, Mom's Blog 2. And also you can find me on Instagram and also on Facebook at Mom's Blog 2 and also at Mom's Blog 2 page and everything. So you can locate me there and just, reach out. If you have questions or you're trying to figure out things, I'm an open book. I'll tell you exactly what I went through, how I was able to, do my first steps. And my first step for me was, okay, I gotta write my blog, I got to do the blog posts, and now I'm going to create digital products. So you can definitely reach out and then I'll help you to make sure that you can succeed.
And as far as the blog, like what specific topics do you have on your blog that you blog about?
Sure. So with my blog, I start from the beginning. That is how to start your blog, because that was a passion for me because I love to write. I love to, even just communicate with people in general. And I was trying to figure out, how do I put this all together? You hear about like it can take a long time. I do it simply. Like I said, everything is trying to be simple in my world because time is of the essence. So it starts with, how do you even start your blog? How do you write in your blog? We also dab into email marketing and of course, how to start your first, digital products as well.
Awesome. Awesome. So if somebody wanted you to be a speaker on their event, because I know we do have a lot of people who host events or they're kind of like, hey, da, 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 da. How can we get in touch with you to speak on an event?
Sure. I would love to speak at an event. I love speaking. I love helping others and I love telling my journey and where I've come from and as far as how I've gotten to where today. So you can reach out to me directly at Deidre at momsblog2.com. And again, that's Deidre, Deidre at momsblog2.com.
Yes, you guys, thank you so much again, Deidre, for being here for Bundle Live, telling us all these great tips about starting that digital product, especially for moms who don't have that much time, but you really want to make a great impact with your blog and with your digital products. I really appreciate you being here.
Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. So guys, thank you again for tuning in to Bundle Live. This is our segment with Deidre Johnson. And again, don't forget to get her ebook. It's called How to Sell Your First Digital Product. It's over in the product creation category. You either go there or you go to the featured products and you'll be able to get the link and the special code in order to get her ebook for free during this bundle only. It goes right back to its regular price after this bundle. So don't think it's going to be after this bundle. Only during this bundle will you be able to get that ebook for free. And again, thank you so much for watching. On to the next one. Hey, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning into this segment of Bundle Live for Digital Products Made Easy Bundle. I've got our next guest who contributed an amazing toolkit. You guys want to know her. Her name is Elizabeth Curtis. Welcome to the stage.
Hey there, Nicole. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you so much for coming. I'm so excited because I feel like as we start talking about this, people are going to be like, yeah, that's me. That's me. I need this. I need this. Okay, let me opt into this. So I'm excited to have you here. First off, if you don't know, the offer name, the product that Elizabeth has contributed is called Get Your Brain Back Digital Decluttering Tool. It's for your home and your business. And we're going to talk a little bit more about it. But before I do that, I want to make sure that you know more about Elizabeth. So Elizabeth, tell us more about you and, where you come from and where you are at in business.
Okay, so I have a website called Happy Mom Life Lab, and it is geared to help the moms that are over busy, who are stressed out, but who want a certain level of life, basically. The moms who like organic food, who want a decorated house, who want a business or want to be a full-time volunteer. And I help those women figure out how to do that without killing themselves, basically. We all have so much in our heads and so much going on and so many decisions, and it's just frankly too much. So it's about getting the help you need.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What made you go into this and start teaching this? I just as you were talking, I was like, what made you do this?
It's a little bit of my background. I used to be a corporate consultant and I helped companies do this. So strategic planning and team building was my jam in the previous, iteration of my career. And then I basically have lived this whole process of evolving out of feeling like I was literally failing life to a place where I can, genuinely feel like I have purpose and I have a grip on things. Yay.
Gotcha. That's very important for all of us. And as we're starting to kind of take a look at all the products that we have in this particular bundle, knowing that we have something that kind of just okay, Get Your Brain Back, first off, is a great title, because we want to make sure that we're centered through all of this and creating our products and such. I wanted to go into the actual product, you guys. It is under the self-care and lifestyle category on the bundle page. And if you're opted into the bundle, you'll be able to get that front and center. I want to talk a little bit about the actual product and what's in it and, how we can use it inside our business and life and all those things. So tell us a little bit about the product.
Sure. It's actually a template within Trello, and on the off chance you don't know, Trello can be free or is free. And the concept is to take all the garbage that's, in your head, all the decisions you have to make, recommendations that maybe your best friend gives you, or all your 8 gajillion, bookmarks on your computer and all the random files on your desktop, and put them into something that's mobile that you can access no matter where you are. Things like, what are your hex codes? You got them. What is, the URL for some course that you want to listen to while you're on your walk? It's really about all that stuff that drags you down and makes you worried. Oh, I'm going to forget that. Oh, I'm never going to remember that. It's just about getting the stuff out of your head into something that's accessible wherever you are. And there's 2 versions. There's one that is business focused and then one that is more personal life focused. So, I have my YouTube things that I need to watch for work on one, and then the best Netflix recs that I read about on the other.
Got it. So, it really truly is for absolutely everything. And for those who don't know Trello has an app, yes? Or is it just on the desktop?
So it's on your phone, it's on your desktop. It's super easy to use. It's super easy to, add attachments to and just make your life so much easier. Some people, it started as a project management. This is not actually that. This is just a tool to keep your life straight, so that you don't have those stray files and random bookmarks that you never remember where the heck they are if they're on your laptop or your desktop. I use Asana as a product management tool instead. This is just a pure, I need information. I want to park something. I don't want to forget to read that book or listen to that podcast. It's all there.
Gotcha. Yeah. And one of the things that I was thinking about as you were talking about it, my coach often talks about brain dumping as well, what she calls it, which I'm that's a little bit vulgar, but anyway, but she calls it brain dumping.
Yeah.
And I was like, this would be great way to brain dump, because especially when I'm out and about, I normally brain dump on a journal, like a physical journal, but like, look, I don't have time to take a journal. Or if I'm driving or something, I'm like, oh, let me write in my journal. That sounds something I
Yeah.
could do. But this is a great way to use that concept of brain dumping, and getting it all from my brain out onto this Trello board app. I don't know what
Yep.
they call it when it comes to app. I think it's an app
Yeah.
is what they call
Yeah.
it for
Yeah.
there. So tell us a little bit about as far as the time to do this. Do you really kind of stop and just say, hey, let me put this thing on it? Or do you normally have like a time of day you do this, or maybe set 5 minutes? What is your best recommendation for something like that?
Well, so I'm everybody's going to be starting to use it. So, brand new to the whole thing. And what I would recommend is just time blocking like an hour and focusing on the few categories that you use the most. So, depending on the stage of your business, if it's swipe files, maybe you see some sales page you think is amazing. If that's what you're using at the moment because you're doing your own sales page, then time block for that. If you're just starting out, you can time block for something else like all of your branding information. But in the beginning, you really should just say, okay, I'm going to spend an hour. I usually do it when I'm not at my peak creativity. So I
Gotcha.
tend to do it in the afternoon, end of the day. I do things like grab screenshots that I've taken throughout the day, or ad recs then. But it just depends on the person and what they want to do. A lot of my clients will, in the beginning, set aside time to work on
Okay.
it.
Okay. I want to make sure
That's
that
about, though, it should be easy.
Okay.
It should just be like, oh, I'm out. I'm looking at my phone. I'm going to take
It's
a
a muscle
screenshot and I'm
memory.
going to
Just do it.
upload it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to
just
make sure
easy.
that we're really clear on it, though. It's not a to-do list. Is that
No,
right? I just
it's
want to make
not
sure
a
that's
to-do
very
list.
clear. We're not trying to create a to-do list like, oh, I need to go and, maybe buy this, or I need to go and, clean this. It's not meant to be that,
No,
correct?
definitely not. No.
Okay. I
It's
just want to
meant
make
to
sure.
be, that gathering of swipe files, of GIFs that you see that you think are hilarious, but you're going to forget about,
Yeah.
a month from now. So it's about literally getting the stuff out of your head or recs that you've received and putting it in one central place just to make your life so much easier, right? You
Yeah.
don't have to go to all the places or try to remember that random stray thought. It's right there, click, you got it all.
And there's a lot of when I think business wise, like I'll see a really great reel, or I'll see a really great, like something where I'm like, man, that was really good, and
Sure.
I put, oh, let me save it, but a place I really can put it together and really have it, especially the business bundle side of it. I can see how
Yeah.
really great that can be. Especially me, I love event hacking is what I call it.
Yeah, no, it's true.
So oftentimes I'll see, I'm like, that's a great event
Uh-huh.
page, or, man, I really loved how they did that. It's a great way to kind of compile all that stuff with event hacking. I see how that can
Or
be
a great
super.
way to phrase something. I do that a lot. It's like, oh, that was a genius way to explain
Mhm.
that. And you just, copy paste. Not that you're copying the person, but
Right.
just that, there's only so many ways
Yeah.
to speak about things that are meaningful.
Inspiration. It's total
Yeah.
inspiration. You make it
Inspiration.
your own, you make that personality, but it's meant to be yours. So I wanted to go into something you talked specifically about in the pre-session. I always have conversations with everybody, but you talked about something called equity, which I'm like,
Mhm.
we need to bring this more into our business, especially female entrepreneurs, especially moms,
Yeah.
bringing that term into our vernacular, into our thoughts. Let's talk about what it is. And then
Sure.
we'll kind of go on from there and like discuss a little bit more.
Yeah. So the concept of equity is more about your personal life to give you the bandwidth to do what you want with your business, right? So it's about, instead of being that woman who is doing it all, you're killing yourself at work, you're spending tons of time, it's super meaningful, but you have all this other stuff that you need to take care of, carpooling, cleaning the house, managing this, managing that. It's about, instead of taking on all the things so that you're at your absolute max, and this is whether you're married or not, frankly. The concept is to lower your workload, not by dividing it in half with a partner, not by outsourcing everything that you can't deal with if you're not married. It's about right sizing. It's about being strategic and then getting the help you need. And that could be with your husband, that could be with your VA, that could be with your kids, or some outside service, frankly. It's about realizing what's important to you and what is going to help you the most. You don't want to spend money and time outsourcing things that frankly don't matter to you. So it's about pausing and getting the help you need. And equity is more about marriage or a partner, but that's really the big concept. We're just taking on too much.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. As you said, something about it's not about splitting it in half.
Yeah.
That kind of was like, wait, what's she talking about there?
Yeah,
So can you go a little bit more in depth? Like, what do you mean by that? It's not about splitting it in half.
Well,
so in my brain, I think just split it in half. But what can I do instead?
Well, it's about, you take a look at all the things that you think you should be doing or you want to be doing. And you could just take that whole huge circle and go half, here husband, here VA, here whoever. It's still not going to be a reasonable amount of workload. So the concept is to really, truly think about what are the things that are going to move the needle for you, both at work and at home. Right sizing what makes sense, let going a lot of the should do things, and then working with your partner to divide things in half to where they feel equitable. So you don't end up resentful and burnt out and kind of pissed off all the time, right? Let's be honest.
Yeah, because I mean, when we say in half, quite frankly, I'm like, the husband's like, do the dishes and I'll do the laundry. And I'm like, I don't want to do dishes. So
yeah.
So
well, that's a piece of it too. Like, don't outsource things that are like usual things. Outsource the things that you don't want to do. Like if laundry's not your jam, don't do it. Figure out a way around it. There's workarounds for things.
Absolutely.
My husband handles all the grocery shopping, which I hate grocery shopping.
I would love it.
And I mean, it wasn't magical. This was, a work in progress. But yeah, it's about getting the right things off your plate.
Okay, I totally get that. My husband, he's in charge of the house. I don't know if he's a house manager. I was like, whatever. You're the house and the cars. I'll pay, make sure everything's paid off. I'll make sure everything gets done as far as anything money-wise, it's done. I gotcha. But you just deal with all the logistics. I can't say another than that.
And that's not typical. Just like my husband doing the grocery shopping isn't typical, but it makes sense for us, right?
Absolutely. And that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. So I want to make sure that we kind of put that concept into using this particular tool.
Yeah.
Like, how can I use that equity mentality term philosophy in using this particular tool?
Well, the tool is really a way to calm your life down, to get rid of that anxiety to where you're not trying to have, you're not going through decision fatigue. You're not trying to remember things. So the tool is about giving yourself the peace that you need, the peace of mind. And then with that, you can start getting more strategic and start figuring out what are the right ways to do things. And you can also use the tool, frankly, Trello is very drag and drop. You can organize the tool to where your priorities are in the beginning of the tool and very easy to access. And the other things that are less important, they're further down the way. So you can use it in different ways.
So how have you kind of used this tool in your life? So home life and business life, is I really want to make sure we have concrete examples of how to use your product for everyone who's attending. I want to just remind everybody, it's called Get Your Brain Back Digital Decluttering Tool. A home and business bundle is underneath the self-care and lifestyle section, also in the featured products at the very top. You can see it in both of those places. But can you just talk to us about how you use this in your own life?
Yeah, I'm going to talk really quickly about the home life one, just because I think most people are going to be more interested in the business one.
No problem.
Who are getting this bundle. But the home life I tend to use for things like books that I've seen references to that my 9-year-old should be reading, or movies like for family night, or games, or all sorts of things like tips about your house and organizing. For business, that's the first way I started using it. Actually, was for business versus personal. For me, I don't know about the rest of you, but I have so many courses and so many guides and so many ideas for emails and sales pages, some that I've seen other people do, and some that it's just like, oh, I've got a great idea for something. And they were scattered all over the place. And I never could find them when I needed them, right? It's like, oh, where is that link to blah? And what is that? And it's such an easy way to take all the stuff. I ended up with so many bookmarks when I first started my business. It was just ludicrous. And all of them now are organized. Are they for software? Are they for courses that someone recommended? Like, what are they for? And it just really helped get all junk in one place. Super helpful.
Well, hey, we're all about being a lot more organized.
Not that it's junk. I shouldn't say junk.
No,
fabulous bundles and things like that.
Absolutely. But it just putting things in perspective and having them in a way that makes sense and that can organize our life. And that's why specifically I put it in the self-care and lifestyle, because I do believe that in order to have a better life, we have to have a little bit more organization. We have to make sure that we're kind of getting things in certain orders. And you've talked about that, especially with the equity term and philosophy. I hope you guys kind of, where can we read more about that, by the way?
My website, happymomlifelab.com.
Okay, so that's the one place I want you guys to make sure you go look for more information about how to do that and how to make that. You already talked about the blog a little bit. Tell us other places that we can connect with you, talk to you, etc.
I am just about to launch a podcast, which is called Mom Life Done Right, which is about not some standard way to do things right, but your way to do things right. It's all kind of linked together, right? Don't do the things just because you should be doing them.
Yeah.
Do them because they're for you. And then, of course, on Instagram, I do have a Facebook group that if you opt in for the tool, it links you right to it. It's a private Facebook group. So those are probably the best places.
Okay, so only if you opt into the tool can you get into the Facebook group, or anybody can find it. Okay, well, ding, ding, ding. There you go. Make sure that you. And what are you guys talking about in the Facebook group?
Oh, it depends on the season. Things like how do you survive the holidays, or tips and tricks. So it really depends on what time of year it is. Some of it is just people venting, frankly.
I mean, it's a place for people to go to kind of just de-stress, I guess. But I want to make sure that everybody knows, again, the offer that Elizabeth has so graciously brought to us. It's called Get Your Brain Back Digital Decluttering Tool. It has the home version and the biz version, a part of this particular product. It's over in the self-care and lifestyle. It's also in the featured products at the very beginning of the bundle page. And you can only get it if you are signed up for the Digital Products Made Easy bundle, which I'm so excited about you guys being a part of, and Elizabeth being a part of. I thank you so much for doing this with me and being a part of this thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole. It's been great. Appreciate it.
All right, guys, thank you again for joining us for this segment of Bundle Live. I hope that you have 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 products that really you can use right now, and you have oodles to look through, but you only have until February the 10th. Make sure that you grab any and every single tool that you want from now to then. Okay, guys? So I will see you next time. Bye-bye.